Alright, I'm back to States. I haven't been to States in about 3.5 years since the illness thing. This is my place in Washington. I usually, I stopped here like twice before. It's just a side road thing, but it's away from civilization, so to say. And there's a good climbing here area. However, I don't have Washington shellfish license. I do have Oregon one purchased, and I'm heading to Oregon to work remotely for 2 weeks. And you got prime grounds. Oh man, look how far the tide went. This has got to be like lowest. It's like up to horizon there. That's crazy. Yeah, it's too bad I don't have a license right now. I would have picked up some of this stuff for sure. So I wanted full day to just drive along the coast to get to my private spot in dunes I discovered in the past years way back. Just deploy the tent there, do the work, get back to music stuff, and yeah, do some climbing, crabbing, whatever I can find. That's the idea. It's time to restart with some oysters. This is one of my oyster farms marked from previous trips. Oh yeah. Getting this can just to munch right now for breakfast. And 2 dozens of this, but I'll stop somewhere else if they can fit my cooler. Tradition maintained, so I'll munch some of that. Gotta find some good view somewhere, and that's it. It's 4th of July in the States, so oh my god, yeah, beaches are probably all packed right now. I never visited, there is some kind of a Bonnie and Clyde carved tree thing way up north there. I kind of wanted to go there, like you need to climb up the dunes a little bit, but you can drive along the beach to that spot. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure if I keep driving north it's just all packed anyways. A little bit chilly, like in the evening here it's definitely going to be cold and shouldn't stay here for too long. Look at all the mist, all that salty mist crawling through. That's not good long term. Right, time to leave a place and head over to Oregon. That secluded beach space I have there, I mean it's awesome. I could totally remote out of that place and go for sunsets. It's secluded from wind by Dune Hill. However, for climbing and stuff it's bad. Like wintertime, sure, for razor clamps, but I think that region actually right now is prohibited for razor clamps, and so yeah, anything else there is not gatherable. It's open ocean. I need a little bathing. And looking at the map, down south more in Oregon I do have another spot. I should have rewatched my whole 1 month Oregon series that I shot like, I don't know, 4 years ago. Just as a reminder for my spots that I stayed at. All my lights, still at night I gotta get out, flashlight, where am I going, how loose is the sand, can I turn around, can I plan it out. But I think I found a little spot here, right there. It's too bad it's a little bit close to civilization, but then again I have time to pick, so I need to deploy, work tomorrow obviously. For the next couple of days I'll check out this place. Yeah, and right in front there is my little place. I think, yeah, I'll deploy Starlink right now. Why not? So it's tied in. There's probably another hour of it. Maybe it's gonna end up here. But supposedly this is good climbing stuff here. And I guess the tent tomorrow will be right here. Problem is, this whole area is kind of like a web of little trails. I'm sure I'll be seeing people. Those are 4th of July fireworks going on. It will do. I just need to crash and deploy work tomorrow somewhere at this point. It's been a long day. Haven't done much. Just cruising pretty much. But it was enjoyable ride. Beautiful weather, beautiful sunset. I was sawing that big branch off, and I was holding it because I knew it's gonna fall on the glass, but it turned out to be heavier than I thought. So, and plus I didn't hold it right in the middle and tilted and smacked into, from the other end, smacked into the glass. Starlink seems to be getting clean connection, 200 megabits, all fine. I don't mind a little bit of civilization in the background, that's fine. As long as people don't come over here, which they shouldn't throughout weekdays, I assume. This whatever place, it's a little dirty here, some garbage here and there. Obviously it's close to town, so but I'm looking forward to yeah, just working, watching some sunsets here, this and that, music, and a whole lot of climbing soups, fried clams, all sorts of stuff. Meantime, oh man, passed out quite a bit. Guess got tired. Was watching something on my tablet, and within 15 minutes passed out pretty much. So wow, that must have been a big tide, low tide. Need to start unpacking. People in distance gathering clams. Deployed for work. Well, I'm obviously not showing my work screens here, but yeah, that's the setup. And the seas over there. Starlink, perfect location, no obstructions whatsoever. It is dense, kind of dense dense clouds today. Oh, okay, now I see the sun. Just recently I couldn't even see where the sun is. I used an app to see sun location, traversing throughout the day. I was climbing like somewhere in there 4 years ago, somewhere in that coast, and that's where one of the climbing guys said, oh, like in the future for camping and stuff, just you can come to this speed. This is part of like one long big speed, but you come over here and continues all the way and behind and just further out. And supposedly, yeah, you can drive by the beach to get to that spot, or on another side of the speed and arrive like somewhere there. There's some camping spots like that too. I will leave crab trap way over there somewhere. I will put some rocks inside so it doesn't get drifted away, but then this is some kind of a bay thing, so not much current, it's gonna be fine. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna be staying here till weekend. May relocate after. Yeah, I'll probably relocate on the weekend, on Saturday, drive nearby somewhere here in Kuzbek. So I climbed here, I was like standing there and the huge branch, because this stuff I couldn't pass with this top, and branch was like huge one here. So I was chainsawing it off, I was holding it so it doesn't drop, but in the end it was turned out to be heavy, still dropped. And this is, it cracked like, not sure if you can see it, but yeah, it landed right where my rear view mirror mount fin is. And that's like that dot over here. It goes all the way. Yeah, so it's about 7 p.m. now, I think, almost, or 6:30. Tide's starting to come out, to go out. 9 o'clock is gonna be the peak, but the good thing is I don't need the peak, so around 7:30-ish, probably like in an hour, I'm good to go. It's already receded quite a bit. In fact, I'm gonna experiment. I'm just gonna, like where those seagulls are, I'm gonna go there, see what's there, because it could be some smaller clams, not the goosenecks further out. Solar hasn't been great today. It's quite low clouds here, like density. I will need to run the car tomorrow, because otherwise I'm gonna run out of energy by evening tomorrow. I do want to use internet in the evening, so the car would be just run it for like an hour idle, and this during that time I will be able to continue charging with solar. In these conditions, even my 400 solar 400 watts is not good enough. Like, I'm getting the charge, but it's on par with what I'm actually using during the day. And in the evening, obviously there is nothing, so, and I'm still using it in the evening just for my own personal stuff, and obviously that depletes, and it's gonna deplete some more today. So as a precautionary measure, yeah, I'll do that. Plus I'll also unplug car solar while car is running and also plug it into it. There is no real issue, just a little bit of hassle plugging and unplugging a few things and run the car for like an hour, but you know, that's I guess a given for really bad conditions where it's like thick layer of clouds. Who knows, maybe in the future, just so I don't have to run the car in like extreme situations like this, maybe get like another 200 watt solar panel or 400 watts, so portable. It's gonna be like 800 watts even. Mosquitoes here definitely relentless. To remedy that, I just put my double pants on. Well, I needed for this stuff to use boots anyways, and just so I don't have to spray pants, because it's thin, right? They can still go through pants. Like, may as well just wear these pants. It's not too chill. I think it's like 18 Celsius right now, so it's not bad. Like, it's comfortable. And just spray neck and fingers and stuff like that, because over there they definitely came out now. So even though I got the crab trap out, I don't really actually have a bait. I forgot to buy some kind of chicken, something those guys like a little bit of that roti meat stuff after a few days. I'm gonna use cat food that I have left over from crayfishing, and I think I have some sausages, a little bits left. Oh, crab trap deployed way over there. I didn't do it further because I can't find a single rock on this beach to put inside. So it's quite light right now. Again, there's no currents here going on, but I decided to tie to this log as insurance. We'll see. We'll see if it stays in roughly same place. Tide didn't recede far enough, so this is +1 meter tide, and in the morning the -1 meter tide. So I need to go to that one. I've been kind of cruising, trying to dig. Oh, it's like 40 minutes. All I got is little gooseneck, not like big goosenecks. I forgot what they're called. Not cool. My cooler ice pretty much almost melted down. I still have 2,000 oysters here. I need to shackle my shackling knife. So what I'm thinking is dozen I'll eat raw now, and another dozen I will cook for some of that to go with Russian potato stuff. 5 people out there, and yeah, that's a huge difference compared to evening tide. Huge. Hello, seagulls. Very long walk. I think there's another one here, but that's what I'm talking about. These guys. That's how big these are. Whew, that was quite a workout. I need to go with gloves or something. I'm gonna develop blisters, but the bounty is these guys. There's so much meat there. So limit is 10. I didn't even gather 10. I think like I'm at 7, but I needed to go back. I need to start working. Oh yeah, finally dinner is ready. So we got some piquito peppers, capers, green onions, arugula, tomatoes, clams in gravy, roasted, mashed potatoes, raw clams, and actually let's grab a piece here. Some soy sauce. Come on. Oh. Unlike some of those small clams, this I think they're called horse necks. Horse necks, not even goose necks. But anyways, huge chunks of meat, so clammy, and this is actually that muscle that you typically see in scallops. So I got here Blue Yeti 200 watt solar panel, and Will Power's 200 watt solar panel. Amperage on this at max is 9.7 rating. This is something like 10 or whatever. I did have them connect to series, and I was getting basically half, so disconnected this. I'm just gonna test this. Currently I'm getting 120 watts from this solar panel. It is completely nice sun. This is full on perpendicular. 120 is just bad. I should be getting at least 150 in these conditions, at least. So I do have a voltmeter here actually, and let's do some measurements. Okay, let's first measure the amperage. Just gonna switch that. What's the amperage right now? So there you go, let's try that. We're getting 10.5, and now we're gonna measure voltage. I'm just gonna set it to 200, and we're getting 23 volts pretty much. So let's do conversion. The conversion comes to be 230 watts. That's a little too much for 200 watt solar panel, but I guess it's going on. Well, the system, the Ecoflow, I guess, limits that. Well, whatever, it's maximum. It's maximum right now. Full on blasting sun. Yet, Ecoflow, right, is only giving 120 watts in this condition. Why? This doesn't make any sense. I'm getting full on power right now. As you can see, this is XT60i connector. So all modern and new. And if we look at input here, there you go. Only getting 130 now. Okay, fine, yeah. Finally sun. It's like 5 p.m. or just over Friday. Well, little clouds came in, but it's been sunny pretty much since afternoon today. Well, should I migrate? Maybe on Sunday to a different location. Well, that's actually my opportunity, because then the weekday will begin, right? Monday, Tuesday, well, you know, the whole next week. So I need to hunker down somewhere and not be movable, because it's annoying to move in the evening, or it's limited time, having to deploy, then arrive somewhere late when you can't see anything. So I think I'll stay here Saturday whole day tomorrow. It's supposed to be sunny or cloudy, sunny, whatever. At least I don't have to use a laptop for work much. Just maybe, well, just Starlink. Oh, actually, yeah, I didn't need to use laptop for my own thing. By the way, yeah, the crab trap didn't really yield anything. There's like tiny little crabs in there, like, you know, those tiny short crabs. Nothing edible really. Some rotted, some fish, some bullheads came in, they rotted, those guys eating them, this and that, but there's been nothing. Yes, it's just too close in, alright, for where crabs actually would be walking around. Maybe on Sunday pack up, well, Saturday evening pack up, and on Sunday actually just leave, keep starting to go back up. Two of my spots in Oregon that are campable. One, well, there's OHV area in near Florence, that dunes thing, but there's gonna be so many ATVs in there and stuff. Technically you could park, you can pay a fee there or something like $5–10, and you can stay anywhere in these dunes or on the beach, even if you want to, not necessarily a designated campground space. Yeah, so that's an option. Then I have a secret kind of dune spot in Oregon, which, well, it's open ocean. There's definitely no climbing there, none of that stuff, except razor climbs, but it's not season right now. And it's also, in this area you can do, pretty much you can do razor climbs anywhere. Right now it's forbidden. So, but the whole Oregon right now is completely open to any other kind of clams, mussels, whatever, no biotoxins, nothing. It's been a while, just trying to get back into the groove of things. That is what I'm talking about. I'm here for these guys. I think this one is even bigger. I think this might be the biggest one I ever gathered. Huge, large neck. There's some soft shell small necks, and I got tons and tons of these cockles now. So this will be miso soup, and these big guys will be again raw and some kind of gravy. Yeah, I'll be picking up today. Well, right now I just need to relax. It's been like an hour and a half gathering these things. Hard work. I need to continue drinking my coffee, and I'll slowly start packing up. And a day for exploration. We are at Sand Lake Recreation Area. I kinda ran out of time yesterday. I had to park somewhere. Had to actually get American cash. It's like, damn it, it was already like 10:30. Where do you get it? Drove nearby a town. Bay. I'm not gonna gather clams, but most people in the distance are doing it. I was here 4 years ago or so. So this is south end of South Jetty of Columbia River. I actually stayed here for a few hours in the full crab trap, roughly like where those guys are. I don't recall catching anything. Even though you're not supposed to camp in this area, supposedly. I'm like near Astoria now, tip of Oregon. Well, I do have this place, in general, this place marked as a heart. So if I marked it as a heart icon thing in Google, it means I've been here and I liked it as far as camping. And yeah, I do recall I camped at least one night somewhere in here and it was actually near the coast. Anyways, I'm going to see the other path now. Yeah, chances are this second place is not gonna be as good for me as in Coos Bay, that way down south of Oregon. I just wanted to migrate to a different spot, and I'll likely go back to my dune spot. There's definitely not going to be an open access to water views, but at least I'll be abstracted from wind and can always just climb on a little sandy hill and just check out sunset. Yeah, so that's the other access point to the beach here. And I camped somewhere way over there. So this across there is already Washington. Right, I'm right at the border of Columbia. Like this is essentially Columbia River here, inlet. Problem with this area is it is part of state park, and entering that little kind of detour beach area just in the very beginning, the sign is like no camping, but I think I don't remember if I camped in here or there was some other place also said like no camping, but for some reason, yeah, I didn't recognize the area. I'll give myself a 5 minute here to decide, maybe have a little smoky. I don't know, for some weird reason I'm leaning towards that state provincial park. Sure, pay the money, it's not that huge. Well, the crappy thing is, it's an hour back return down south to the it's Cape Lookout Park. It is very much south end of Nathan's Bay, so it's not even 10-minute drive to the climbing areas and so on. It's literally like 5 minutes at least, at most. It's like right there in the bay. However, that area is more for smaller clams, as far as I remember, climbing there. I think it's all, yeah, and the kind of beach area there and so on, it's more like you need like a rake because there's some small rocks and so on. So my rake broke years ago, so I would probably need to buy a rake. I just want to have that option for evenings to like, hey, I want to munch on some clams, seafood that's from here, for just go get it, come back quickly. And denied. Well, I had a feeling this would be the case because summertime and this is one of the coolest campgrounds in Oregon. And of course, yeah, I arrive, ranger's like, yeah, it's full, and I'm like, hey, anything open for tomorrow? He's like, no, completely booked for the whole summer. I'm like, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so in that other town, an hour drive away north, I was like, okay, well, I don't have connection here, driving through, just don't want to use roaming. And I felt like, oh, I'm gonna stop at Starbucks, well, McDonald's, and the connection was so bad, like so bad. I'm like, okay, let's stop at Starbucks. Just to call ahead, like, are there spots? Stop at Starbucks, barely working connection, like atrocious connection. I'm like, oh my god, I'll just keep driving. And of course, well, nothing. So it's an hour return back to my secluded spot. Oh, that was a fail last night. I'll show this spot later today at lunch break. Walk out, there's a beach behind the hill. But yeah, there is some kind of a sign here now. There is supposedly camping prohibited, whatever. But well, I stayed here, no one bugged me. But I can't stay here for the dedicated spot the whole week. I'll need to migrate today after work. But it's kind of rainy outside. I didn't want to do the whole setup thing because I'm gonna leave here today. So I just power station is in the passenger seat. I just ran a cable here. It's gonna be minimal setup today. Starlink router here, keyboard, right, laptop, my mouse, and my mini pad here. I'm about to log into work, but today I have to do minimal work. I don't need second screen, like I can do without it. I could technically set this stuff up here, but I don't know, it's too much work. Oh, actually I need to take my my platform here to put over my leg, that little table thing. And so yeah, I need to do database stuff today and some screenshots and this and that, so I can get away with just one screen. Kind of should have stayed at that cruise bay. It was nice and cozy in there and some good climbing and so on, but there you go. Wanted to migrate somewhere. So yeah, this place is closed that I counted on for camp, and I don't have anything else in this area, and all provincial, I mean state campgrounds definitely booked in the summer. See, all travels I've done here in Oregon were either like in September-ish or in off-season when people go to school already and stuff, so availability for camp hasn't been that huge of an issue, or around Christmas times and stuff like that, right? Going on a trip to Mexico, or just climbing on Christmas breaks here, this and that. So I forgot that in summer it's coastal area. You can't get anything official unless pre-booked. And it's not like I have spots in Washington. Well, I have one, but it's sketchy. See, it's like when you're cruising without needing to work, well, it's like, well, shit didn't work out. Fine, yes, awkward. You know, not ideal. You crash somewhere, you hide in some bush, you know, or some side pull off thing, and then you wake up next morning and you keep on going, whatever. But with work stuff, it's like I can't afford that kind of stuff. Like I need to arrive somewhere and I actually need to, like, my full on, you know, set up, all this time it takes in and out, have proper exposure to connection, like all those things. And I failed in that last night. That's a lesson. Basically, don't go to touristy places when you need to work. Well, work is about to start, but before that happens, let's go check out the view here. Well, I know the view, but you don't. I'm also thinking here that definitely in Canada in general there's more places like this to just camp where you want, kind of thing. Yeah, near Vancouver it's a little bit tough, but once you venture away from Vancouver, like 4-hour drive, possibilities open. We have so many recreational sites and so on. In states it's very limited to pretty much Arizona, Utah, kind of Nevada, those states. There's so many places to just get lost and roam around and camp out for free and stuff like that. You don't get to see the sea, but those 3 states are amazing for that. But as soon as you get to other states, not so much. It gets pretty bad. Everything's paid in campgrounds, and no nooks and crannies to park at, because well, US has 10 times more population and less territory than Canada, so everything's more dense. And yeah, finding place to just like this deploy on some little field on some forestry road, maybe at some top of a mountain, blah blah blah. No, it's quite harder here unless you are in those like free states. So yeah, I'm thinking, unless I'm going Utah, Arizona, and then it's just stay in Canada kind of thing for work remotely like this. Because summertime, all these official campgrounds, especially coastal touristy areas, it's all busy. And I need guarantees that I won't need to relocate all of a sudden while working. Booking stuff, official campgrounds, I don't want to, plus it's paying money. So after this point, yeah, I'll be sticking either to Canada, just something like at least 4 or 5 hours away from Vancouver, where options open, or make a push and just drive to, let's say, Utah. Well, Arizona would be too far. Utah, maybe a bit of Nevada. There's some places in Idaho, but not as much. But yeah, it's all that desert space where you want to be, because the whole California coast, it's shit show. Is yeah, you can't, like, there's only one place, Pismo Beach in California, where you can kind of like park and camp on the beach, but there's so many cars and people, it's just not fun. So besides that, well, there is a little bit in the east, close to the desert. Maybe I'll migrate today to Washington somewhere. Not coast, definitely not coast. I wouldn't be able to find anything paid available right now, summer. So maybe like Okanagan on the US side, Okanagan Valley thing. There might be some paths and trails and the lake. Basically, yeah, find some lake. A recreational site kind of thing. A little break from work. Those database updates were quite annoying. So like, yeah, let's go check out some views again. Now that there's a little bit of sun. No one's here. Out there, far in the distance, that thing. This is a shipwreck I took a picture at some years ago. There's another access to that theme, far in our beach area. So it was about 2.5 hour drive from the coastal region to Mount Helen. Well, I'm not going to touristy area. I found across some lake, there seemed to be some kind of region full of little trail roads and things like that, and on satellite image I seem to have found what should be absolutely beautiful spot overlooking lake below and the whole Mount Helen. Never been to Mount Helen or Mount Rainier in Washington, but I wanted to kind of not go south. Right, return to Coos Bay in South Oregon would have been about 7-hour drive south, and from that location, which I really liked it, part of the beginning of a trip, and it was awesome area for climbing and stuff, and I could have relocated within that peninsula, but I just couldn't justify failing and like this and returning to that spot again. And then also on Sunday drive all the way back burning fuel, right? So I was looking for some place to stay that's kind of like on the return home route, somewhat. Basically shaving off some time from Sunday return trip, right? So kind of on the way, but detourish. So this was perfect. It's like 2.5 hour drive and shouldn't be occupied with people. There's always the situations where I arrive late in the darkness and not knowing what the hell, just kind of like, oh, spot on the map on satellite image seems like gonna be cool spot. Wherever it is or not, you only find out in the morning. really, but I would say still 70% of the time, maybe even 80% of the time, my pre-research spots through satellite images seem to work out nicely, and there's generally, you know, you open a lid in the truck and it's beautiful new view you've never seen before. Okay, I've arrived. It's raining quite a bit here. In the jacket. Yeah, it's like misty and a little bit cold. Not too cold, but I tried to go to a much better overlook point, but it seems like it's a little trail head to go to that little lake down below, but the road is kind of washed out and off Cambry. It's like maybe 2-minute drive from here. I'm not gonna do it at night. Maybe I'll relocate tomorrow. Maybe walk the whole path to see what it's like. I just kind of walk just briefly just to get a glance. It's like yeah, it's whatever. But this spot here is supposed to be like where my car is facing. There's supposed to be Mount Helen tomorrow view right there. I think there's some trees blocking, but generally, yeah, there should be like great view, unless rain. Starlink deployed. Time to watch Overland Lady's video with me as a star in there. Got my beer. Oh, and while doing that, I'm gonna be munching on some of these oysters that I got the other day. Yeah. Well, I had cooler. Finn's been in a cooler. Yes. And for proper food. Fast food. Well, let's see here, moment of truth. And sometimes you wake up like cloudy. Yay. Well, hopefully that goes away. I'm not even sure what elevation I'm at. Ooh, I should check Google. Maybe it should know. But man, the greenery, the flowers here are amazing. Look at these colors. I don't think I've seen these red ones before. I guess you could call it high alpine. Almost. I mean 1200 meters. I'll see how it goes, if it clears or what's going on. Weather forecast shows closest cities are in the valleys. And not really nearby, so I can judge what actually weather forecast for here is. I know in BC it's like all sunny now, in the Okanagan area it's all sunny. I'm not lucking out on weather. Let's temporarily abandon the workspace here, and yeah, this is it. Finally, sun is clearing. It's starting to become a little warm. I'm not sure if it's gonna, well, it seems to, for the next few days, it's gonna warm up. It's definitely not as amazing vista view as I was expecting, but that spot that I was supposed to stay at is kind of like behind that mountain thing there, and on the other side somewhere over there, and I guess it's more direct view on the mountain. But just looking at the Google map, I was expecting this thing to be quite further out, like in the distance sort of, but it's like right in my face here pretty much. Yeah, it feels like summer finally. I'm in a t-shirt with sun is out. Great, because the morning was cold. Like I took the shoes off there. Right, just kind of lying down, laptop on me, all that stuff, and my feet were kind of getting cold. And last night for sure was miserable here. All this mist, and like there's been a few times on the road where I couldn't see like 5 meters in front of me, just kind of like scrolling along. And yeah, I was tempted to just pack up tonight and migrate again. Since last Tuesday, I started this little week and a half, almost 2-week trip, just working remotely. I haven't done really anything in the evenings for myself. Just been watching some stuff, news, movies, whatever, or just dealing with things, but nothing for music or other things. And I mean it as far as being also sort of productive while tripping, and besides work thing. Because I don't want summer to go away, right, without actually moving my mystic notions along. There's still logistical things to be done there. Still that goddamn track to release, but once I release, then I have to hustle. Then you know, when I have a mark, I have 2 weeks after that. If I release it now, I could release it right now on Spotify. There you go, like right now. But that's the point. Not right now, but to get into the Spotify curated playlist, whatever, is 2-week wait, so it gets in their system, blah blah blah. But that means I would need to hustle, ideally create music video for it and so on and so, well, but through AI, right, with Ira, the girl I shot, and doing some yoga stuff and whatever. So that means I would need to hustle right now, and I don't feel like hustling a music video. And it's like, finally, full-on view. Mount St. Helens. Beautiful red of sunset. The other side of the mountain supposedly collapsed, so it's not whole volcano. From official side, on the other end, you can see, I guess, more of the inside of the volcano. Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely staying here. Yeah, I probably like all the way till Sunday. Solar prepped here for the morning, sun is coming from there. Relocated my whole setup there and a small keyboard as a reminder that I need to do some kind of musical related things. I do have big keyboard with me on board as well, but smaller one as a reminder. Also a little update, I decided to 1500 watt, not 1500, 1000 watt inverter. Ecoflow allows for X booster or whatever, 1800 watt input, so rapid charge. For bad weathers and so on, I still needed to come up with some kind of a setup where solar may just not be, right, like this stuff may not be enough, period, because in super bad weather, apparently Starlink consumes more power. These things barely provide, but my laptop, Starlink and other charging things just consume too much. So I'm kind of constantly throughout the day going into minus, and I may last like 2 days like this, but that's it, right? And after that's like I need to run the car or something, or charge things. But normal 12 volt plugs only provide 100 watts. You need to run car like whole day. So I had the choice to go with DC to DC booster thing, which would provide me about 400 watts if I run the car, if I idle it, or when driving, for example, right, just relocating, it would just trigger the system, and while driving it would be 400 watts coming in versus only barely 100 watts from 12 volt plug, cigarette lighter one. Or go with inverter. Of course, inverter is not as efficient, but at the same time I'm not running it off some battery bank, it's while idling car. So for example, if I could have like up to 800-900 watt coming in, essentially charge my whole bank, let's say from zero, you know, pretty much in 2 hours, but it's never zero, so basically giving like, top up the whole battery while drive, or if I idle for an hour or two in bad weather conditions. So that stuff is gonna arrive Monday, and 2 gauge cables, huge cables, 3 meter, will arrive Wednesday, and Thursday I guess I'm gonna be doing the job. This antenna, I no longer use it really, it's CB antenna, no one uses that stuff. I have wire ripped here anyways, so all of that stuff wiring I'll remove. I'll have to disturb my fire port. It's all siliconed down there because there's lots of wires going through, and I had leaks past years going into the cab a little bit during huge rains. So I haven't been bugged by that for like a few years now, and now I'll have to disturb that, right? Take that thing out. Chances are I may still need to expand that fire port, which is going to be quite a bit of work. It's so hard to get there. Run it through, right? So just connect 2 gauge wire to battery, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna position it here. See, like this thing I'll need to remove, I don't need that, whatever the thing that comes from here, like I don't need any of that stuff, it's old. And on the other side I have MPPT controller, installed here, but the seat is more this way. I like to drive closer to the wheel. That's just my preference. I really wouldn't want to change that. Well, it's because also when I'm closer in, I can lean and see more of what's going on in front of me. If I'm further back, it's just too much motion. So that inverter is not going to be small. It's 1000 watts, but it's still not small energy one. There's this ridge. I may need to glue something, some kind of platform here to level out, and maybe like put that thing like right here. My Ecoflow is under the boxes there. It has proper ventilation underneath it, but to prevent the sun sometimes, like especially in the morning, shining onto it and giving it more heat. That's why I have actually a box on top of it. And yeah, just run AC wire, just like here, boom, just right here. Or if I'm not camping or traveling alone, right, passenger seat is occupied, then Ecoflow can be just like designated space here, and again just run AC wire to here, and that will solve all of my potential fears of bad weathers and so on, you know. Essentially running the car, or like winter time, or like late fall time, if I'm camping out, people, not just me, but let's say group camp people using this thing, whatever, then it's like, it's fine. Just top it up in an hour and off you go. So that concludes the US trip. I'm basically just gonna wait for parts to arrive Sunday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is probably gonna be the job, maybe even Friday partially. Just hang out with girlfriend these days, go camping next weekend, take her out, no kid this time. So makes it much easier, less bags to carry and all that stuff. No like whole bag of dolls. Yeah, somewhere near a lake, whatever, do some boating, go for not too far, not too rough, because getting to Nakhatlach made them a little bit nervous, because there's like washed out stretches and stuff. And then I guess Monday next week in the evening I'll start heading up north and kind of deploy on Tuesday and then continue up north. So it's gonna be evening pushes to Chilka Lake. It proved that technically I could work in the truck without setting up tent, the whole setup, you know, and solar. Because the whole point of setting up the whole setup is to get obviously solar coming in and stuff like that quickly. Well, because before I didn't have means to charge that stuff quick. Not really, right? So with inverter it's gonna be easy. It's like even if I eat up 50% of it during the day on Monday, doing the work, whatever, it's fine, right? Or even in the evening, Starlink and stuff. Oh no, in the evening I would have to leave again, because to get to Chilko it's about a 10-hour drive, I think, while with gas stops, this and that, it's probably all the way 12 hours. And I do need to repair this windshield glass here. I'm thinking I don't need the whole glass replacement, probably just that resin they do that takes care of this kind of stuff should be okay.